हेलो एवरीवन। आज के इस टॉपिक में हम डिस्कस करेंगे टाइप्स ऑफ फ्लूइड फ्लो। ओके, सो एज वी नो दैट दिस इज़ द वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक फॉर एरोनॉटिकल स्टूडेंट्स और मैकेनिकल स्टूडेंट और the students who is belonging from any other field. This topic is very important for all of us, just because of if you are preparing for any competitive exams like gate and ISRO. So in these areas you must know about the type of fluid flow. Okay, so after we will discuss all type of fluid flow, but first of all we need to know that why we need to study the fluid and flows. So as we know that fluid and flows both are different terms and both are very important, because both playing a very important role in fluid dynamics and aerodynamics. So as we know that if we are designing any spacecraft, space vehicle, radar and helicopter, airplanes or any air vehicles, if we are designing even automobiles, if we are designing any automobile, then the fluid and flows plays a very important role, just because of uh, through this we can determine the shape of the aircraft. As we know that there are four forces which is acting on aircraft body: lift, drag, thrust and weight. So if we will talk about that, then also this fluid flow will play a very vital role. Okay, so in this video lecture, we will discuss about introduction to fluid and flows, characteristics of fluid, classifications of properties of fluid. Listen, mind it, classification of properties of fluid. It means here we will discuss about the properties of fluid with its classification. Okay. Next point is explanation of flow and explanation of fluid flow. So first of all, we are going to discuss the introduction of flow and fluid. So what is flows? As we know that the basically flows, it's very complicated to understand, just because of we all few terms which we used daily life, but we don't have any idea regarding that and we can't define it, just like temperature. If you can if you will ask the definition of temperature to the students, they are not aware about it, but the definition is also exist, right? So the definition of fluid flow is continuous movement of something. I mean to say that if anything will move continuously, then we can say that it is a flow. Okay, and if you will talk about fluid, then what is fluid? Any substance that can flow is known as fluid. Or we can say that fluids are a state of matter and are include liquid, gas and plasmas. So basically this is the fluid and flow. Okay, they are the substance with zero shear modulus, or in similar words we can say that the substance which cannot resist any shear force applied to them is known as fluid and flow. So I hope fluid and flows both are clear. So now we will discuss about characteristics of fluid. As we know that everything have its self characteristics, like if we will talk about metal or any substance which is existing in this universe, it will have a particular characteristics. Okay, so we are going to discuss about the characteristics of fluid. So first of all, it offers no permanent resistance of shearing. I mean, you can't if we will talk about the resistance of shearing, then in case of fluid there is no permanent resistance. Okay, and another point is they have elastic properties only under direct compression. I mean to say that if we will compress the fluid directly, then it will show some compression properties, otherwise there is no elastic properties in fluid. Okay, now we will discuss about the fluid flow. So what are the fluid flow? Okay, so first of all, we all are aware about fluid dynamics. Okay, so fluid flow is a part of fluid mechanics and deals with fluid dynamics. Basically it is a part of fluid mechanics. Okay, and before discussing this topic, I will try to explain something new for you all. What is the difference between fluid mechanics and fluid dynamics? So both terms are different and both have a vital characteristics. Okay, so if we will talk about fluid mechanics, then what is fluid mechanics? Mechanics means क्या होता है? Mechanism. It is a type of mechanism where we will use some other element to show the mechanics of the fluid. But if we will talk about fluid dynamics, it means the dynamics. What dynamics shows? The word dynamic shows that we will study here we will study about the physical properties of the fluid, just like pressure, temperature, density and viscosity. So this is the first point what we will study here. Okay, our second point is fluid mechanics and fluid dynamics is also known as fluid flow. Third, it involves the motion of a fluid subjected to unbalanced forces. I mean, here we will study about we will apply different type of forces to the fluid, and we will study the motion and movement of fluid flow. Okay, this motion is continuous as longer as unbalanced forces are applied. As you will apply the different type of forces, the motion of the fluid will depend on the applied forces. Okay, now we will discuss about the different properties of fluid flow. So basically, the properties of fluid is classified mainly in three types. First is kinematic properties, second is thermodynamics properties, and the last one is physical properties. Okay, so as we know that kinematic, what do you mean by kinematic properties? If we will discuss about kinematic properties, then exactly kinematic properties is the type of properties where we will discuss about all the kinematics, like we will discuss here the the velocity and the velocity, direction and all these things we will discuss here. But if we will talk about thermodynamics properties, so as thermodynamics shows that thermo means temperature and dynamics movement. So in this properties we will discuss about the thermal properties of the fluid, just like and another is physical properties. So what is the motive of physical properties? In physical properties we will discuss about the physical phenomena of the fluid. Okay, so first of all we will discuss about the thermodynamics properties of fluid. So what are the thermodynamic properties of fluid? First is pressure, density, temperature, viscosity, thermal conductivity and specific heat. So the physical properties of these are the thermodynamic properties of fluid. Okay, so first of all we are going to deal with pressure. So what is pressure? We all are aware about the definition of pressure. What is the definition of pressure? Basically, pressure pressure is equal to force per unit area. I mean to say that if we will apply any type of force on a particular area, then this will known as pressure. Okay, if we will talk about density, then density is totally dependent on the mass per unit volume. It means in a particular volume how much mass can exist will define the density. If we will talk about temperature, then the degree of hotness and coldness of the body is known as temperature, and the another term is viscosity. So this is very important point to know about the aero student, and also the student who are dealing with the fluid mechanics. Viscosity plays a very important role, and if we have the clear concept about the viscosity, we can calculate, even we can say that we have a great concept on fluid mechanics. Okay, so what is viscosity exactly? Listen, I will try to relate it with the friction. Okay, so we have three state of matter. First is solid, liquid and gas. Okay, so gas and liquid both comprise and form a fluid. Okay, so we can say that we have two type of state of matter. First is solid and the another is fluid. Okay, so now we are going to discuss about solid. So friction plays a very vital role in solid, because friction is a type of resisting force which is acting upon the two different layers of the solid bodies. Okay, so this is friction. So as friction works in solid, same as the work of viscosity in fluid. Okay, so the viscosity act between the two layers of the fluid, and it plays a very important role, and it causes a great phenomena. By the help of viscosity we can calculate many more things, like if you are talking about the fluid, I mean if you are talking about engine oil, even fuel. So this concept is very important for all of us. Viscosity changes with respect to temperature. I mean if you are talking if you are dealing with the viscosity in winters, then as the temperature decreases, viscosity goes to higher. I mean जैसे जैसे टेम्परेचर कम होगा, विस्कोसिटी जो है उसकी बढ़ती जाएगी. आई हैव अ वेरी ग्रेट एग्जाम्पल फॉर दिस टर्म. if we will talk about ghee, which we are using in our home. Okay, so in winters the thickness of ghee is very high, so we can say that the viscosity of this is very high. But if you are if you will talk about ghee in summer, then the thickness of ghee is very low, so we can say that there is a low viscosity in summers. So as temperature changes, the viscosity of any particular substance or viscosity of fluid changes according to temperature. Okay, now we have another term, that is thermal conductivity and specific heat. So as we know that thermal means temperature, conductivity means the transformation of the transformation of the the temperature. Okay, so if we will talk about specific heat, then these terms are very important. Okay, so now we will discuss about the general classification of fluid flow. So what are the classifications of fluid flow? Basically fluid flow are classified in many types, depending on the different things. Like if you will talk about viscous and inviscous flow, inviscid flow, so this type of flow will depend on the type on the properties of viscosity. If there is viscosity in fluid, then we can say that it is a viscous flow, and if there is no viscosity, then it is inviscid flow. So you can say that inviscid flow is a type of hypothetical flow. I mean there is no existence of this type of flow just because of every fluid which is existing in this nature have a very have some viscosity, because some viscosity. So inviscid flow never exists in this particular universe. But we are so you have आपके पास क्वेश्चंस हो सकते हैं कि then why we have to study about the inviscid flow? Because of in hypothetical conditions, in aerodynamics also we are trying to find a project which can work in inviscid flow. Like if you will talk about inviscid flow, then there will be no loss, and we are always trying to make any system which can work efficiently. I mean which will be 100% efficient. Okay, so to remove the the lack of the energy, we are trying to deal with the inviscid flow. Okay, so nowadays till now there is no concept on inviscid flow, but we have to study about it. So this is the difference between viscous and inviscid flow. If you will talk about viscous flow, then there will be a viscosity in the fluid, and if you will talk about inviscid flow, then there will be no viscosity. Okay, so this is the viscous and inviscid flow. Now the second term is internal and external flow. Third is compressible and incompressible flow. So internal and external flows both are same. If you will talking about any like you have any pipe, and the flow will pass through this, so this will known as internal flow, and if the flow will pass around it, then it will known as external flow. And the third point is compressible and incompressible flow. So when we are going to study with compressible and incompressible flow, so as we can see that the word can define itself. Okay, so compressible, I mean, it means that you can compress that fluid. Okay, if we will talk about incompressible, then we can't compress it. So when when we can compress the fluid will known as compressible flow, and if we will not able to compress the fluid, it will known as incompressible flow. Okay, so also compressibility will is totally dependent on the density. So we can say that if density will change, then it will known as compressible flow, and if the density remains constant, it will known as incompressible flow. Okay, and now we have fourth type of flow, that is laminar, transient and turbulent flow. Okay, so these flows are very important for all of us. If you will talk about laminar flow, then laminar flow, listen, what is laminar flow? Laminar flow means the fluid will flow smoothly. Okay, transient flow means that basically transition is a point where the laminar flow changes into turbulent, and the turbulent flow means the fluctuations and the collision of the fluid. Okay, so it will known as turbulent flow. By the help of Reynolds number, we can also classify the laminar, transient and the turbulent flow. If the Reynolds number is 2000, then we can say that the flow is laminar flow. If the Reynolds number will lie between 2000 to 4000, it will known as transient flow, and more than 4000 will known as turbulent flow. Right. So now we will discuss about steady and unsteady flow. What is steady flow? Steady, it means this is at a fixed position. Okay, so steady and unsteady. If you will talk about steady flow, then steady means there is no change in velocity with respect to time. So and there is if there is changes in velocity with respect to time, this will known as an steady flow. Steady means the object is at a stationary position. It means there is no movement of that particular object. But if we will talk about unsteady flow, then there is a continuous movement on that object. So that's why we can say that the object changes its place from with respect to time. So that's why it will known as unsteady flow. Okay, now we are talking about natural and forced flow. So few as we are aware about many things existing in our surrounding which have the particular position, I mean they can flow naturally. Okay, we don't need to give any external force on that particular object. So that type of flows will known as natural flow, and if we have to give some external forces to move any object, it will known as forced flow. Okay, so this is the difference between natural and forced flow. Now we will talk about 1, 2 and 3 dimensional flow. So as we know that we are studying from class 6 that we have 3 dimensions, x and y and z. So if any flow will flow in one direction, it will known as one directional flow. The direction might be x, y and z in the flow can flow in any directions like x, y, z anywhere, but it will always flow in one direction. Okay, so this will known as one directional flow. And if we will talk about two directional, then this flow is very important point for all of us, and we are dealing with this type of flow just because of every flow have movement in two directions. So if we will talk about our rivers, then rivers are also flowing in two direction, x and y. So that's why we have to study about the two dimensional flow. It means you can say that the flow have the fluid can flow in two direction, x and y. Okay, so if there is a movement in flow in two direction, then we can say that this type of fluid are the two dimensional flow. If we will talk about three dimensional flow, then there is no difference between this. The fluid will flow in three dimensions like x and y and z directions. Okay, now we are discussing about supersonic, subsonic and hypersonic flow. So this type of fluid depends on the Mach number. Okay, so what is Mach number? Basically Mach number is the term of which is used in aerospace and aviation industries, like by the help of we can't calculate the speed of aircraft, because if you will talk about the speed of aircraft, then it is very high, and if we will calculate this in meter per second, so this is very complicated to learn about it. So that's why we are considering, and we have a specific unit for the we have a specific unit to measure the velocity of aircraft. So we are calculating the velocity of aircraft in terms of Mach number. Okay, so we have classified the type of fluid flows in three types depending on the Mach number. First is subsonic, second is supersonic, and the last one is hypersonic flow. So if you will deal with subsonic flow, then the flow under 1 yani ki Mach number, when the Mach number will less than 1, that flow will known as subsonic flow. And when the Mach number will lie between 1 to 5, this is known as supersonic flow. If the Mach number is 1, this will known as sonic flow, and if the Mach number is greater than 5, this will known as hypersonic flow. So these are the general classifications of fluid flow. Basically, I tried to cover all the points of the classification of fluid flow. Okay, so now we will discuss about the ideal and real fluid, and Newtonian and non-Newtonian fluid, and ideal plastic fluid. So in this image which you are seeing, you can say that on both the side the flow comes in a straight position. Okay, so you can say that this is the laminar point where flow comes, and after a few times the flow test and collapse with each other, so that point will known as turbulent flow. Okay, so here in this image you can see the definitions of laminar, turbulent, and transient flow. So transient point is that point through which turbulent flows starts. Okay, now we are dealing with ideal and real fluid. So ideal fluid are the fluid which is not existing in this universe. Like ideal fluid, there is no existence. It means there is no viscosity, because ideal fluids have no viscosity. Okay, and now if you will deal with real fluid, then real fluid have a definite real fluid have a viscosity, and they are real fluid. If you will talk about water, air, so these are the real fluid. They have some specifications, like they have viscosity. Without viscosity, the fluid without viscosity will known as ideal fluid. Okay, now we will discuss about the Newtonian and non-Newtonian fluid. So you will you all will be aware about the Newtonian and non-Newtonian fluid. Even you all are aware about the Newton's law of viscosity. Okay, so what is the Newton's law of viscosity? Tau is equal to mu du by dy. Du by dy is the velocity gradient, tau is the shear stress, and mu is the viscosity. Okay, so the fluid which will follow the Newton's law of viscosity will known as Newtonian flow. And if the fluid will never follow the Newton's law of viscosity, that fluid will known as non-Newtonian fluid. Okay, now the another fluid is ideal plastic fluid. So this is type of ideal plastic fluid, and even ideal plastic fluid is a very important fluid from today's point of view, because many scientists are working on this type of fluid. Okay, so everything is very important for all of us, and I hope that I will be able to clear all your doubts. So if you like this lecture, then you can subscribe our channel. And one more thing I want to say to you all, that we are going to start our even we will deal with the aerospace, the mechanical syllabus of ISRO exam, I mean ICRB exam. So if you are interested, then you can join our channel, and I will try to explain everything which is necessary for all the competitive exams. Okay, thank you so much, and if you have any doubt, you can comment it. Thank you very much.